Good afternoon, everyone. It's time to do some strength training. We are doing strength training for swimming today. This morning we did a lovely spin. Thanks to everybody who came and joined us this morning. It was a lot of fun. Lots of great Irish music. You can upload that. It's now available on our YouTube channel, Team Triumph Triathlon Club on our YouTube channel. If you want to pick up the spin anytime this afternoon or this evening or tomorrow, or you can do it again and again and again. So we're going to do some strength training for swimming now. So this is what you're going to need. You're going to need your dumbbells out. If you've got some bands, grab a hold of your bands. And if you don't have bands, I'll give you an alternative for that. It's just a quick 15-20 minute workout. You'll feel great after. You're going to use your arms, your upper body, and feel like you're swimming, even though we can't swim as triathletes. None of us are swimming right now in Canada, so we're doing everything we can to keep you guys swimming and feeling strong. Might even do some swimming in the hot tub. Watch for that. All right, over to Martin. He's been helping me out doing the filming. We're going to start down on the mat. So there's Martin. Hello.
Hi.
And we're going to start down on the mat with some bird dog, warming up in through the core first. I got all my weights ready for me here, so I've got a nice light one here, and then I got a couple over there ready to do some other exercises. So we're going to start in bird dog. Bird dog, we've got both hands underneath the shoulders and both knees underneath the hips. We're punching that right arm out, pressing that heel back, engaging the glutes, keeping the leg in line with the spine here. And then bring the opposite elbow to knee, starting to engage in through the obliques, the core, and then punch it out. As you're punching it out, press out through your heel. We're not trying to lift it up. We're just trying to press it out. Just starting to warm up here as we get ready. Strength training for swimming today. Imagining yourself in the swimming pool, even if we can't be in there. Getting the core warmed up, making sure that we're pressing hard out through the heel, feeling it in the glutes, looking straight down your nose, nice fist punching forward, keeping my hand and my shoulder in line with my shoulder here. And take it down on that side, lift up the other side. Press it back through the heel. We're not trying to lift up high, remember. And punch it forward, opposite elbow to knee. In and punch. Just work at your own pace. Keep rolling through it. Connect your breath and your movement together. Inhaling as you bring elbow to knee. Exhaling as you punch. Trying to bring up the heart rate a little bit here. And punch. And the kitties are coming to play. Hello, Biscuit. That's Biscuit. Curious about what's going on. Keep punching it out. And two more. And two. All right, take your hand back down to the mat. We'll take just a little wiggle. Look over your left shoulder at your left foot. Press your right hip out. Come back to center and look over your right shoulder and press your left hip out as you're looking at your right foot. And back to center. We're going to do a few cat-cows. Inhaling to lift the head and the butt. And then exhaling to round the spine. Inhale as you let the chest come down. Lift the head, lift the butt. And exhale, round the spine. Look straight down your nose. One more of those. Inhale, press the chest down. And lift head and butt. And exhale, roll out the spine. Come back to neutral spine. All right, we're going to move into what I call the serratus push up. The serratus muscle is right underneath the latissimus dorsi. We need to keep that super strong for swimming, and this is a great way to do it. So we're going to come into a high plank, and then we're going to do that same cat-cow position that we were just doing on our hands and knees, but now we're going to do it so we're rounding the spine and squeezing shoulder blades back and together. Rounding the spine and then squeezing shoulder blades back and together. But we're going to do this in a plank. We don't want to lift the butt up and down in this one. We're trying to maintain that nice even plank in a high plank, but we're rounding and squeezing, engaging in through the serratus muscle. All right, here we go. So come into your high plank. Find a nice place where you can balance. Now we start. Round the spine and then drop the chest. Round the spine, drop the chest, squeeze shoulder blades together. Inhale as you lift. Exhale as you drop. Inhale and exhale. Just flow with your own breath at your own pace. We can also do this from the knees, making it a little bit easier if that's what you need today. Inhale and exhale. Starting to feel the heat building in the shoulders now. Heat building in through the abdominals now. And take your knees down to the mat. Stretch it out in child's pose. So we've got both hands out in front of the mat. Take your forehead down to the mat. Hips rock back towards your heels. Stretch those muscles. And come on back up onto your hands and knees. Going right back into bird dog. Right arm extends, left leg extends back. Not up, back. Inhale and exhale, elbow to knee. Keep working just like that. Inhaling as you reach, exhaling as you tuck. Warming up. Punching and curling. Punching and curling. Pressing that heel back. And two more. 9 and 10. Reach. Other side. Punch, press, and then curl. And let's go. Inhale and exhale. Two more. 9 and 10. Nice work. All right, we're going into the Serratus Push Up again. Taking the hands out, spreading your fingers nice and wide. Press your feet to the back of your mat. Come into a nice strong plank. Option to take it to a knee down plank. I'm going to show you guys how to do that now. Round the spine and then squeeze shoulder blades. Round the spine and squeeze shoulder blades. Inhale to lift. Exhale as you drop your chest. Keeping the core strong and tight. Going for 10. 7. 8. 9. And 10. Take it back into your child's pose. We'll take the knees nice and wide. Take the hands to the front of the mat. Take your forehead down. Reach your hips back towards your heels. Relax. Breath. So we're feeling a nice stretch in through the lats and the serratus here. We're about to use them again, so we wanted to warm them up a little bit, stretch them out, get ready, and release that. So we're just going to warm up in through the rotator cuff as well. The rotator cuff muscles all lie right behind your shoulder here. There's 3 of them that land right there. The rotator cuff gets a lot of stress when we're swimming, and So much so that a lot of people get injuries in their rotator cuff. So we're going to just do a nice warm up here for the rotator cuff, and we're coming into a 90-degree angle here on the legs. Got my head supported with my hand, and then I'm going to grab hold of this weight. I'm going to take my elbow onto my hip and then just allow that weight to drop and then lift. You want a really light weight for this one. It's not something that we're necessarily trying to build as a strong, big muscle. What we're trying to do here is just work on the endurance of the muscle. If you have an injury here, don't go there. We want to make sure that we're protecting that injury if you're in an acute phase. If your physio has told you you can start doing it, oh, it's getting heavy, then feel free to do it. So that was about 9 for me, and that was plenty. If you're feeling that the weight that you have was too light, then just keep going for a couple more reps. And we're going to switch right on over to the other side. We got the head supported by the hand. Knees are at 90 degrees. Grabbing hold of the weight, stick your elbow right onto your hip. And now allow that hand to come back down towards the mat and then lift it up. Try not to bring it past your elbow so that we're not going so far back. So we're just taking it in line with the elbow, nothing farther, not behind the shoulder. And inhale to lift, and exhale as you're dropping it down towards the mat. So yeah, like I said, if you do have a rotator cuff injury and you're still in the acute phase, we're not probably ready to do this yet. If you're just getting over it and there's just a little bit of pain there, you can start to try to do this one, and maybe you do it without any weight, just getting the motion of the exercise, and you can see it's starting to get a little heavy as we lift. All good. And lift one more, I think, and I am dropping mine down. It's enough for me. Keep going if you feel like you've got a lighter weight. So I had just 8 pounds there, and that was plenty. Maybe 5 pounds or 3 pounds would be better. We're just going to take a little stretch for the back of the arm here and the deltoid and the rotator cuff. Taking the hand across your body, grab hold of your wrist on the right side. And if you want, you can also just look over your right shoulder and give yourself a little neck stretch at the same time. And we'll flip on over to the other side. So I've got hold of my left arm now, and I'm looking over my left shoulder, holding on to my wrist on the left hand, feeling the stretch all through the deltoid and the rotator cuff. And let that go. We'll take one more round of that. 90-degree angle, and we're on the other side. Elbow right on top of the hip there, and bring that hand down towards the mat, and then lift, making sure we don't go past the elbow here. Just keep it in line with the shoulder, and lift. So we're inhaling as we lift, and exhaling as we drop the weight back down. Getting heavy again. And inhale. Hope you're all surviving today. We had some nice sunshine this morning. Trying to get lots of sun. It's important to get lots of vitamin D. Vitamin D. That's all I can do. Vitamin D is the new vitamin C, so if you're not getting outside in the sun, make sure that you're supplementing with some kind of vitamin D. We're going to go hit the hot tub this afternoon so we can sit in the sun and get our vitamin D that way as well. All right, other side. Elbow on to the hip, and exhale as you bring it down. Inhale to bring it up. Flowing with your breath. So it's also a really good idea at this point in time to start watching swim videos. I'm going to start posting some swim videos from other people that I like, namely Total Immersion. That's one of my faves. And then I'm going to ask you for your homework to start looking at videos and critiquing some swimmers and seeing what's wrong with their stroke, because sometimes it's good to do that so you can see, sort of train your eyes to see problems in a stroke. Okay, we're going to take one more stretch just like we did before. So I'm grabbing hold of my right wrist with a straight arm and bringing it right across my body, and then I'm looking over my right shoulder, taking a stretch there. And then the other side. And let that go. Okay, we're going to go on over to the bands. So what I've done is I've set a few bands up over here on my stair. And thank you so much to my neighbor, Nina. She lent me her bands. All of my bands broke because I haven't apparently used them lately. So we're going to do the swim pull exercise. I like to do it with one arm so that I can focus on that arm and make sure that my form is correct. So I've got the yellow band set up here, and I'm just wrapping it around my wrist, stepping back. So you may want to watch this first before you try to do it on your own. So we've got the finger tips pointing down towards the bottom of the pool. We've got that nice angle of a VW bug with the elbow up. And now as we're pressing the hand back, we're keeping a nice straight wrist. The elbow has now popped up, and I'm keeping that elbow popped and taking the thumb in towards the belly button. And then as I get to my hip, I'm going around my hip to straighten the arm completely, and you can see how the tricep muscle just popped. Fingertips are still pointing down towards the bottom of the pool. And then we just release. We're not trying to do the upper portion of the stroke. So let's try this together now. So the fingertips are pointing down towards the bottom of the pool. We've got the elbow starting to pop up and the thumb starting to come in towards the belly button. And then as we get to the hip, go around the hip and straighten out the arm completely, and those fingertips are still pointing down. And then release. Bring it forward, and we do it again. Elbow up, and press it back. Make sure that arm is completely straightened at the end of every single stroke. Fingertips pointing always down towards the bottom of the pool. Whether you're catching, going round your hip, or pressing it back into the propulsion phase. At the beginning, we're trying to engage the latissimus dorsi and serratus, using those strong swimming muscles as we do it. A lot of people make a lot of errors in their catch phase here. Instead of bringing the elbow up and the thumb towards the belly button, they bring their elbow back rather than pointing it up. And this is all going on under the water. I guess you guys have figured this out, right? We're not doing the above the water phase. That part we can't do right here in this exercise, but we can do the underwater part, and this is the part that needs to be strong. All right, depending on what color band you're working with, maybe you've got something that's heavy, maybe something light. Just do as many as you feel that you're going to start to feel it in your muscles. You want to feel it. You don't want to just go through the motions here. So I've switched over to my other arm now. That hand was good. So I've got my fingertips pointing down towards the bottom of the pool. I'm going to push that elbow up. And now we've got that nice angle coming in with the thumb towards the belly button. And then I'm pressing it all the way back, straightening out my arm completely so that we can get the tricep involved at the end. All right, just keep going through that motion. If you have any questions at all at the end of this video, please feel free to put them in the comment box. and I'd be happy to help you answer those questions. We love teaching swimming in Team Triumph. Absolutely adore it. It's such a fun sport to learn how to do, and it's always fun because you're constantly looking at ways on how to improve your stroke. So we're still working on the left arm here. I'm just going until I feel like I'm fatigued. If you feel like your form is starting to fall apart, stop it there. All right, we'll do a couple more. And good, awesome. Okay, next one, we're gonna do a row with bands. How are we doing there for time? All right, so what I've done here is I've wrapped my band around the staircase here. I'm gonna wrap the band around my hands and then pull back to the point where my arms can straighten and I feel some resistance on the band. From here, the elbows come in towards your side body, and then the hands touch right at your rib cage and then release. So we're pulling them back, and as we're doing this, we think about squeezing the shoulder blades back and together, thinking about engaging all the muscles in the upper back, the rhomboids, the traps, the lats, they're all starting to play. So this is one of my favorite exercises in the gym, but unfortunately with what's going on, we're not in the gyms anymore. This is a great exercise to do on a cable, with a cable row. But we're finding alternatives and staying strong so that when we get back to the pool, we're going to be stronger than ever. And I'm just starting to fatigue just a little bit. Ideally, I would have the black band. That's the heaviest one that they've got, but we don't have it, so we've got to deal with what we've got, right? All right, I'm going to do 3 more. I think you guys have the gist of it. And let that go. And we're going to go right back into the living room and work on the tricep. So the tricep muscle in the back of the arm. In swimming, we use that a lot at the end part as we're pushing the water back towards the back end of the pool. So we want to use all those same muscles that we use for swimming in the strength training. So I've got my hand just underneath my shoulder here, my knee up on the bench. I've got my left knee on the bench with my right leg down on the mat. I'm going to bring my arm up so that the elbow is in line with the shoulder and tucked into my side body, and then lift that weight all the way up. And at the back end of it, you can see it's getting heavy, at the back end of it I'm trying to straighten and flick that wrist up the same way we would in the pool with the pressing the heel of the hand backwards. All right, so we've got a nice heavy weight here because we want to lift heavy shit and lift. Coming right in and right back. I'm keeping the shoulder to elbow steady and just moving the forearm, and at the end I'm lifting the wrist. So I engage the head of the tricep. And you want to pick a weight that you can do sort of 6, maybe 8, 10 at the max. But we're trying for 6. Something heavy enough that you feel like you're actually building muscle back there. Good. All right, let's go on the other side. So I'm moving around my piano bench here. This is all we got here. We're adapting. Hand underneath the shoulder, knee up onto the bench, left foot is down on the ground. Holding on to my dumbbell, tucking that arm into your side, and then lift the dumbbell all the way back, straightening the arm completely and ending with straightening the wrist a little bit and lifting it up. Again, we want to make sure shoulder to elbow does not move. It is tucked in tight there. And that's it for me. Good. We're going to go over to the bench over there. My grandmother made this bench. Nice memory of my grandmother right here on the floor. What I like about this versus the piano bench is it's longer and it's lower to the ground, so I can grab a heavier weight. So I got my weights all set up on the floor here. I'm going to lift them up, push my butt down because I've tried this already and my head goes off the end. So pushing the butt back. And we're going into a chest fly. So just have a look first before you do your first one. Take both hands up towards the sky. Arms are straight. And then as we come down, we're thinking about kind of hugging a beach ball. And then bring those arms together. So we're working the pectoral muscles here. Strong muscles for swimming. Bringing the hands together. And then dropping the arms down. We don't want the hands to go below the elbows. So constantly think that you've got a ball in your hand and the ball is expanding and then you're pushing it together. Keeping a bend in your elbows. We don't want to straighten the arms. And that's where I'm thinking, okay, I've got this big Swiss ball. And it's either a big Swiss ball or a slightly smaller one as I'm bringing the hands together. Feeling this in the chest now. Probably could have added a little more weight on this one. Feeling like I'm not really at fatigue yet. So again, on this exercise, we're looking at, 6, maybe 8 repetitions of it, because we're in the build phase right now. We're trying to strengthen those swimming muscles while we're out of the pool, so we stay strong. All right, as you're finishing, you're going to take your hands together, bring those weights down to your chest. I can actually just drop mine down onto the floor, and that's why I like this nice low bench. If you don't have that option and you're maybe on a Swiss ball doing this exercise, keep them on your chest, tuck your chin in, and do a curl up with both weights in both hands, and then drop it down. So those are the key exercises today. Try to repeat those 3 times, maybe 4, depending on how much weight you have. And we'll meet you back on here on another session. We have our next training tomorrow morning, Thursday, at 9 o'clock. Maggie, our coach Maggie, is going to be going through a running workout. And she's going to do the warm-up for 10 minutes and explain the running workout of the day. Keep following us. Keep doing it. We got this. Stay fit. Love you all.